I think maybe the next thing to try is to get.
Hi, Jeremy.
You got them finances, so clean out the public, right?
What?
The finances, you clean up the public.
Yeah, they're on the table. I'm thinking, hey, you know, I'm thinking maybe if being closer doesn't help the audio, then maybe the next thing is we buy. Jeremy was recommending this multiple microphones so that we can get better sound.
Recommends.
I didn't think it was mine.
But suggested,
It is an option.
an option.
Let's do those. My sister wearing pink.
I've been getting scar. I've got another color too, just.
He went and bought shirts too. He got shirts.
Oh.
Oh, and you didn't wear.
Oh, I see. It's all Amber's in there. I don't think there's.
And they've got.
Just coming apart. Oh, yeah, I didn't. She was about 3 weeks in advance.
Are we good? You good?
Yeah, you just have to, I need to share. Next time I get a share. Oh, yeah. Sometimes I'm around.
So welcome, everybody. We're gonna start the meeting. Roll call, Jeremy,
Present?
Elaine,
Yes.
Kim, here, Julie,
Here.
I'm here, Jill, here. Great. Thank you, everybody. And Ross is here. Great. And on Pledge of Allegiance. Jeremy Lee.
The Pledge of Allegiance to the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any adjustments to the agenda? Okay, we're good. Our consent calendar approving the September meeting minutes. Did anybody have any changes?
I do.
Okay.
Amber's last name was not in the minutes, and she was also not listed as attending.
Okay.
Minutes should be marked unofficial until approved.
They should say draft. They didn't. They
Didn't.
Yeah, we should get in that habit.
Job description was read during the meeting, but not put in the minutes. And I expressed to Darla that there was no more discussion about Jill's promotion. And I don't know why Rose's document that she read was not also in the minutes.
And Amber's last name, I'm not even gonna attempt, so we'll have to get that for Jeremy. Unless you know.
And I'm assuming in under 80 remarks on the board, Darla agreed that legal expenses were up significantly year over year. I'm sure that you meant year after year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeremy.
Are we gonna make those adjustments then before we go or?
Yes, I don't know. Would we republish? I guess we haven't had that many changes.
Yeah, normally what happens
The
is
changes.
With the changes, so we approve them next meeting.
No, you can approve them with the changes.
Oh, I see.
someone makes a motion.
Did you want to see
Yeah.
them first? Is that what you?
Well, yeah, I would like to see them posted on the website
Then that would mean,
with the corrections.
that would mean we would delay approving them till next month.
I'm comfortable with that.
Okay.
That was a lot of
Yeah,
changes.
it's a lot of changes. Oh, thank you.
Yes, Julie, considering how many words, you mind if I email you a copy, make sure I get it right? That'd be great. Appreciate it.
So we will defer approving until the, how can it be November already meeting? Great.
And do you have that list written, Julie, you could email me?
Darla just made it.
I know, but Julie's probably got more.
Probably got-
I just marked up the minutes. Okay, I can take. But I have another written, another list I wrote, yeah,
Yeah. However
so
you,
that I could update this.
Do it now.
no. Do you have Amber's husband? I don't think you do.
And there is no August minutes posted. I guess that's an add to the agenda.
We just approved those at the last meeting, so it could be that
Is that a
they
cute-
just didn't get put into the calendar.
And do we not post the financials on the website either?
You may.
Not yet. I do have a link though. If there's anybody who's interested, I can send them a link.
I think that should always be on the website for the public.
I agree. We just haven't had time to.
Well, it hasn't been in the past, but that is a transparency step that we were.
I was under the impression it was on, in the past.
I don't know that I had seen, I'll be happy to go back and look. I had not seen them.
They don't come until the day before. The agenda has to be out by Wednesday or early Thursday, and the documents don't come until Friday, so
I
they
don't
haven't.
remember them coming right before the meeting like that. I usually had a week or more to look at them.
It's kind of random.
Well, the last 2 months.
Can we just ask for them sooner?
Yeah.
We
can
talked
ask
about it. Yeah, sometimes it's because it's just the timing of the meeting is right at payroll was the answer we got last time, but I think we can push that a little bit. Yeah. Try to get it early. Yeah, and I would agree. The entire board packet should be posted. That's something that we've been working toward. What Jeremy was referring to though was actually posting them. We have a Google Docs that we're starting, so we'll have all documents out there for history, and that'll get backed up that way.
Like by the end of the year, we're gonna start doing
Yeah.
that regularly. Okay.
Yeah, and people want to see it before we have a chance to make it pretty on the website. I have the link. They can go to it. It's available.
Is it on the website so they can
Not
click on
currently
that?
on the website. You have to email me and I can send it back to them.
Mhm.
It's not
Okay.
ideal, but it could stop that maybe temporarily.
Trying to be transparent, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's the goal, so that's good. Great. Okay, so we will defer approval till November. Okay, and Will, unless anyone had anything else, we'll move to unfinished business or ongoing business, and Will's going to give us an update on the pool renovation, please. And if you don't mind, we're trying to improve the sound. If you don't mind sitting in this chair will be for anyone speaking from the public.
And I should have asked this sooner. Are we recording?
We are
Can
recording.
folks hear? And is the live stream going?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, and I believe you're talking to people, making sure that they're here, so he's chatting with people. So 2 of the changes we're making, we're doing a backup audio copy. And we also are asking that the audience not participate unless they are in the chair, because that is causing the audio to have interference in the background, making it harder for people to hear. And that our speaker always move into the speaker position. Thank you.
Good evening, Board of Directors. Thank you. I can see for your support of Lebanon High School's T-Mobile contest.
Yeah.
We're obviously in the final week here, so we appreciate all your support. Thank you. Let's talk about the pool. I had a chance to talk to one of the contractors that is a pool specialist, and they are the pool group that gave us the original bid. And one of the things that they talked about was I'm trying to get the bare bottom expense. What is it that we can do with the money we have? What is it that we need to do to keep the useful life of the work that we do in the 30-year range or more? And one of the things that the group said to me was that you don't want to go too much lower on scope. And we kind of talked about this a little bit, but the bottom line is, if you want the work that's done to last 30 years, you don't want to go too cheap. And then you have the tile and the materials are all falling apart at 10 to 15 years, okay? I also kind of given food for thought for the board. When we talk about a 30-year update, is it really 30 years? Well, we say it's 30 years, but we really want 40 or 50 years, right? We really want it to be a lot longer. So I guess the point is we don't want to cheapen out on the materials. We don't want to cheapen out on the process. So we've kind of come up with a bare bones scope of what it would take to redo the gutter system, reline the pool. Also, that we've been talking about potentially looking at the design work and doing that ahead of time. You know, that's quoted separately. So if we can get some of the design work ahead, then we can kind of be ahead of the OHA process. So if you're not familiar, we've got to do, it's not just applying for a local permit, you have to apply through a permit through the state of Oregon for specifically for pools. They're backed up approximately 2 months. So that's 8-week lead time just for that one permit. So we were looking at if we could do design work, pay for that ahead of time, and then start looking at permitting process. That being said, we still have a deficit in how much money we have. So I need to be straightforward with that. We've got to bridge that gap somehow in order to proceed with the full project. Okay. Now the design work doesn't go away. The work that we've done already doesn't go away. So the nice thing is we've come this far. It's not like we're going backwards. We're just staying at this point until we're prepared to proceed and everybody's on the same page with that. Questions, thoughts? Yes.
So when you said we need to do these things before we proceed, does that mean that we won't proceed with anything? Or I remember you and I had a conversation many months ago where we're saying maybe we could do this piece
Yes.
and that piece. So instead of just waiting until we do the whole thing.
It's most cost effective to do it all at once,
Okay.
because when the cement truck's here, you'll want to hear it once. You don't want to bring the cement truck out 2 or 3 times, right? That being said, if we need to break up the project, that might be what we have to do, just because we don't have the resource to do the total project at this point.
And at some point, maybe you'll tell us that kind of where we are, and then we would have to, and not me, but based on the design and everything, you would say, or someone would say, I think this needs to be done first and second,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, and we'll meet as a board on that before the decision.
Yeah. And so that we would have kind of an outline. Like I said, it would be better if we could do it all at once, just for the fact that it's going to be more expensive, because then you've got to bring, the contractors have to, they set up their process, they get all of their equipment on site. To do that 2 or 3 times is quite a bit more expensive.
And during that time, I of course heard you at the board meeting, the school board meeting,
Yeah.
when you were talking about the big project. Is there a plan? I know you're looking at trying to get a lot of the money, but what's going to be happening with the high school during the next year as far as any kind of renovation? I know you're talking about the security system is
Yes.
mostly finished.
Yes.
But what else? I'm just thinking of in line with the pool.
So as we look at how to repair the high school and bring it back to, so it doesn't leak, so it doesn't, all the, et cetera. I know that there has been some conversation about potentially building a new high school. The facility advisory committee at the school district did look at that information. It was far too expensive. About $300 million to get a bare bones high school these days. That was a little bit of a sticker shock. And that means that you haven't touched any of your other schools and all you have is a new high school. That would be awesome, but we also said, okay, that's not realistic. So whatever we do, it will be at LHS. So the bottom line is we'll be repairing, we'll be fixing, we'll be working with that site.
And I believe the roof is one of the main.
It is a huge issue. So we have, yes, we have sections of roof that have never been replaced. So that's 70 years old, and just, not that we're talking about the school district, but that's a big deal. You've gone, you typically, roofs are in that 30-year range for the built up roofs. And so you've gone over double the length of roof, and they're leaking. So that's a problem for us. So to answer your question, it's part and parcel. We'll be on site. We'll be trying to fix up the current site.
I mean, I was appreciative of the fact that we had 25 people going around all the school and looking at everything. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So thank you for that. We did. 25 people toured every school. We went 2 different times. We went with the whole team, facility advisory team, and we also went with all the product agents. We actually stopped by the pool too, just to let you know. Did all of the engineers, architects, everything went through all sites.
That's maintenance.
Yeah. So, yes.
So I think the last quote that I heard was around 1.5 for the total project. Is that still, that's the quote that you were referencing when they said we can't really drop below that for the overall project?
Yes. So we are in that 1.75 to 1.8 range for the total. That's everything out the door. Okay. When you look at things like soft costs, like all of those fees for the different, every service that we would need, right? That would include permits, that would include geotech, et cetera. So you're looking at about 1.75 to 1.8 right in there. I had a chance to talk to HMK this morning, and we dialed in that pretty closely. We don't want to go too low. Because if I say, come out here and I say it's 1.6, and then you open up the concrete, it's like, oh, this is a disaster, we're in deep trouble. I don't want to come back and say, oh, no, we don't have enough contingency in our budget to cover for digging into a 50-year-old site.
Yeah.
That's the challenge we have. And just being 100% transparent, it would be no different than if we were working at a school site on this exact same thing. If you're digging into something that's that old, you don't know what surprises you're going to find. And so we would need to be prepared for that. Hey, if it comes in at 1.6, awesome. That's a win for the community. But we're being more realistic on the realistic side. And so that budget does include contingency for.
Okay, and we have not yet looked into Elaine's idea of stepping it, or chunking it up in some manner, even though it would be more costly.
We
Are
have.
you talking about the build, you're
Yeah.
talking about the high school? Are you talking about the high school?
The pool.
You're still
Well,
talking about the
I thought
pool? Because we had talked about both. I just want to be sure. Okay.
No official plan, but I can bring something back. We've obviously looked at that, right? What would that look like? I think we prioritize what's the biggest thing that we need to do, whether that's gutter or floor liner, I'm not sure. We want some officials to, maybe Ryan to look at that. Maybe that's a part of the design work. So no approvals tonight that we need, just giving you the lay of the land where we're at. Yeah. Any additional questions?
I think
Okay.
We're making progress.
Yeah,
Thank
exactly.
you.
Yeah, thank you for your time. Keep voting
Yeah.
Rather tomorrow and next day.
every day. Yeah. Yeah, the high school, absolutely. They have the little competitions they do each week. And so part of the contest is they have the final week, they have to do some videos.
I know the Breakers did that ridiculous ice thing.
Thank you, Will.
Everybody should look for the perfect chair. That's been the best video yet.
Oh, that's the high school.
Mhm.
It's called the Perfect Chair.
Well, it's from Saturday Night Live,
Oh,
Okay.
when Will Ferrell, they did the perfect chair. Anyway, they reenacted that. It's really fun.
oh, cute. Okay, and moving to the operations report with Jill.
Not a lot to be said. The pool's running smoothly. We have started third grade swimming lessons. We just did 2 weeks with Cascades. They rotate through. Right now we have high school PE going on for the next 4 weeks. And we do have the new stairs in the main pool. And other than that, that's about it.
And the painting and all there, it does,
Yeah.
it looks
It does look
so
good.
much
Yeah, it
better.
looks really
And the
nice.
painting outside, the. yeah.
And Will, thank you. The bushes looks
Yeah.
great
Oh,
on
yeah.
that side of the building. Thank you for that.
And the DPT students are gonna paint, they're going to paint that wall, the white for now. So we're getting that, we're gonna get our furnitures and the, already done. Okay, I just have to get the students ready. I need to.
Okay, any questions for Jill? Good. Okay, treasurer's report, Jeremy?
I don't have anything I looked at normal this month. We've got the piece of paper out there for those who want to look at it, and I've emailed all the board members the drafts that I look at just to kind of make sure that there's nothing spiking weird. Yeah.
Making progress with the bank, which is great. We did our first payroll through the bank with a couple hiccups, but
Yeah.
sorry. But overall, really good. Pretty checks, as Jill said. Nice looking.
Yes, Jill, Tina, everybody who has unique access can log in, and they're doing good.
Yeah, that's been a good move, I think. Okay, and oral requests and communication. I did change the form. Just basically a little housekeeping, cleaned it up a little bit, added some of the current language that is being used by the ethics committee. Our form had not been updated for a while. I don't know how long, but for a while. Our official policies on the back for anyone's reference, and our request, unless they're presenting as Will was, is that you would fill this out. So we have a record of the speaker. It helps Jeremy also with the minutes if there's any questions on spelling. Some things I wanted to highlight. We expect all presenters to speak with courtesy, respect, and tolerance. The board will not hear comments regarding individual staff members, volunteers, or board members. Personal or inappropriate comments or actions will be stopped. Each speaker is limited to 3 minutes and will receive a, 1 minute?
2 minutes.
2-minute
Well,
warning.
at 2 minutes, they will be told that they have 1 more minute to go.
And we thank Elaine for being our timer. We,
When did we just talk about that?
I don't think I did. I just thought it would be helpful if people knew if we're only doing 3 minutes if they had.
And that's what's done at the school board.
Yeah,
They do the 3 minutes.
I went through,
And I heard when I was there, they did say, you've had 2 minutes, you have 1 more minute to go.
yeah, it's meant to be helpful so people can make sure they get out what they
I
intended.
just wish that more was talked about during the actual board meeting
Okay,
of all
I'll
kinds of
accept
things.
that. Yeah, I didn't bring it up. I just looked at this, the school board, looked at the city, saw what people were doing, looked at the training we're gonna be taking, and just updated the form. But that's.
And will
fair.
that be on the website then by next meeting?
Yes, it will be. That's my fault. I was actually introducing it tonight. Which you're right, I could have introduced it and then actually put it into the meeting in November. That probably would have been a better plan. Okay, we've always done the 3-minute, 2-minute warning. We didn't necessarily stick to it, but we'd like to.
So,
As per our policy, we do not respond to comments during the meeting. We could end up putting it on a future agenda. We would appreciate if the audience would not join in the discussion. We'll ask the speaker to sit in the chairs we talked about, which should help improve our audio. If there are a bunch of people who want to talk about the same thing, we would just ask that perhaps one person represent that. And just a reminder that the board meeting is not an open conversation. We have to follow public meeting law. And it's a monthly review of business operations, including finances, as we just went through. So is anybody else wanting to speak? We have Rose with a Friends of the Lebanon Pool update. Thank you.
So I'm Rose Chris. I'm the current president of the Friends of the Lebanon Pool, and we meet monthly to discuss, well, fundraising options and what we're going to do. So we met at the beginning of the month, and we discussed, Jim Knopf was there, and he shared with us that he got steps in for the big pool during the shutdown, and that they were pool. He wanted to make a request that we potentially fundraise to get steps for the warm pool. Jim just informed me that he has a donor who's interested in that, so we may be able to get that stairs for the warm pool set up. Also brought up was that Joe Andrews, the current coach for the Lebanon High School swim team, is looking for, well, the landlines, which are, I can attest, landlines are a little scary. They're just old, like everything at the pool. So I've put in a call to Joe Andrews to discuss, well, what is the cost for that? We also spoke about some fundraising opportunities. We had a Splash for Cash event last spring, which brought in $14,000 that went into the pet fund. So we're certainly looking to do that again. And in the spring, we were looking at March, April days, but we'll of course have to coordinate with the director. One of the things that we wanted to bring forward at this meeting was, if we as the 501c3 are doing events for fundraising for the pool or what have you, do we need to go through a process of pool rentals? If we do have to rent the pool, if we're doing something off hours, do we get a discount for being a 501c3? How would that work? What would that look like? I don't need an answer tonight. But just something to consider, maybe to discuss during the next meeting. In addition, I have a meeting with Will this week to discuss an end of summer carnival Julie said she would help us with that. I have 1 minute. Okay, I know, this is quick to go over all of this. Julie said she would support us. She does the Sources of Strength Wellness Fair for the school district, so she would help us with that. We're looking to do that at the end of summer. I know the pool has done that in the past, and so that's something that we have looked at. So we want to talk to Will about facility usage, not just like parking lot usage, and the lawn next to the parking lot. Can we use that for, three-legged races or egg, whatever the egg thing you do, the egg spoon thing you do with kids. And then the other thing we're going to talk about is, could we potentially use the whole school parking lot as a fundraising parking opportunity during Strawberry Festival, like charging for people to park in the school parking. So, but of course that has to go through the school district. So those are just some of the fundraising ideas we have. We've got more that are, we've got more on the way, but that's what we're up to as the committee. The last thing I wanted to say is we talked about, can I go over just a second?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Okay. It'll be more than a second, but people at the end of the year, they have their deferred retirement, you get your IRA, at a certain age, you get your IRA deferment thing that's over a certain amount, and people are looking to donate that money. So we need to coordinate with a lawyer and financial folks on the language, but we want to put a couple of flyers up around the pool and financial advisors around town and so on and so forth, because that may be an opportunity for people to give the pool money through us, because we are a 501c3. It is a full tax write-off and all of that.
I know a couple of Edward Jones guys up here.
Oh, excellent, excellent. So that's my time. Any prayer? Yeah.
Being a 501c3, does that mean then that you can help people qualify for things that we as a government entity can't get?
Yes.
That was the point.
Yeah, that was why I pushed so hard to create a
So-
501c3.
Mine's not that number.
I heard people say that the government entity was
Yeah.
just as good as 501c3. Oh, I was a little bit confused about that.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
seems like,
mine's through TIO, but we have that every year. There's an option to
That's awesome.
refer some.
yeah,
That
it
opens
seems
up
like in
options.
some cases. And then I guess we'll coordinate with Jill about the potential for purchasing like a pool pass that could be rented or checked out at the library for families.
Oh, I like
Julie
that
brought
idea.
that up at our last meeting. So,
Nice.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
I like that. Thank you.
That's a really good.
Okay, and remarks from the board of directors.
I have got one real quick. I know we're trying to make things nice and neat with the public comments. I'm wondering if we should separate Friends of the Pool. They're not really public, they're more like a.
Was thinking that, yeah. Kind of like what we do with Will.
Yeah, they're not restricted by time limits. They're actually one of our entities.
I think invited as to do a presentation.
Yeah, whenever they're available and they want to do it, they just.
Yeah.
Part of the meeting.
I think it's a good idea. I had talked to Robert about it at one point, so I think you guys are starting to get enough activity now. So that'd be great.
It only makes sense to me. And I think
Mhm.
we should seriously think about not charging full price for things that are events that
Yeah.
might go on.
Yeah.
To benefit us all.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, but I would think that's a very fair concept. Okay, anything else, Jim?
No, thank you.
Okay, Kim?
Yes, I wanted to just give a very quick update and tell Will again, thank you. As I was going through and making our books and gathering all the documents, we realized that the lease that we agreed on with the school board in April was never signed. So Will has sent it to be signed. Both boards had already approved it, and then as soon as your board signs, we'll get a copy back. We'll have signed copies of the lease. So I just wanted to give an update about that.
Great, thank you. And thank you, Will. That was a good catch. Julie, did you have?
No.
Ella?
We've already talked about this, but the DO program, the fact that we actually painted the front, part of the front walls, I think we made still might do a little bit at the end, Jim. But then, the DP students, now that they're through exams or through around exams, they are going to paint, and now that the bushes are out, thank you so much. They're going to paint that end wall. And then when we get this, the muralist competition, that's what we're thinking about would be, it would be, and Julie, if you wanted to throw in anything about this, but we talked about it would be, college and university, then high school, and then kind of elementary, middle, like something like that, or it could be, or those could be broken out. But then students would submit like an 11 by 14 drawing, something they would want to be like a mural that could fit, say like on that wall right there. And then it could be either that those students do it, or they could do it paint by number, they could, and maybe some of the older students could help the artists. And I've got several at the DPT program they're going to like to help with that, so somebody would draw and then maybe different groups could come and paint, which I think would be really fun. And that wall, the one that's going to be so beautiful quiet soon, that would be a great spot, because when you're at the stadium, then one of the murals could go there, possibly one in the front. We don't have that all figured out, but when I was talking to the DPT students, they were very excited about that. And Julia told me that she thought that the younger guys would really love that. She knows that those.
Think it's something we should do through the art teachers, maybe, the buildings?
That's a
But,
great idea.
And we're looking at different ways to vote. You could come to the pool and have a way to vote, but you could also vote online, kind of like you're voting, like we're all voting every day, all our emails for Lebanon. But anyway, so we want to make it fun for the community, and they would get to vote too. I don't know about how we would narrow down how many times they would vote, but I would like for us to be able to vote as much as we could, just like in the pool, not be voting every hour, but anyway, so that's our plan. I mean, I think it'll make the walls really look great. We think one mural could go inside, right, Jim? We talked about having a place where maybe maybe a smaller, we'll have to talk about that. But I think it'll be really pretty when we get the murals done.
It'll be nice. Great. Anything else? Okay. I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things we've been accomplishing that I picked up on by listening to a lot of what Jill mentioned. You mentioned swim lessons were doing really well. So we actually have talked about in the past, and I think we'll talk about again, extending into weekend swim lessons as we start losing capacity during the week. Something to think about. Largest swim club in 10 years, which is impressive. And that's something that we want to encourage sponsors for swim lessons, and also for sponsorship of a child in swim club. So we'll start looking into that, the best ways to do those. Jill had a nice idea about a gift tree for the lobby, and I was going to ask Elaine, I was wondering if we could do many gift trees that you would bring with you, like to greeters or whatever, right? And then on that gift tree would be envelopes that they could buy that might have a swim pass or a equivalent of a membership in swim club or swim lessons.
Yeah, we always do. I mean, great greeters every week. We always do gifts, and I never had anything. So this time, with Jim's help, I made a little envelope, and I gave 4 swim passes. And the person that won it, she was very excited. She goes, "Oh, my grandkids are going to absolutely love this." So and that was the way that we could continue to contribute. I always talk about the fact that I'm on the board of the pool. Talk about the board and what we're doing at every greeters.
So one of the things I'm going to try to do as chair is help each of the members with their focus area. So Elaine's focus is community outreach. Julie was membership, and you guys were working together to kind of achieve like the mural contest and get some buzz going about the pool. So I'm happy to help with that. We do have 2 people that are willing to volunteer, 2 of the members that would be willing. One lady said she could think of something like sitting at Walmart and handing out flyers and handing out or selling this, have a little gift tree and sell sponsorships or individuals. So that sounded interesting. I think one of the messages that everyone who's interested in the pool could help share is if a person were to donate, we'll come up with levels or whatever, but let's say they wanted to donate $250. That would put 5 kids through swim lessons. And that's a nice way for people to see an actual reaction rather than just donating to a bigger pool.
And we could publish their names on the website or
Yes.
post them in the lobby.
Yeah,
We have a
exactly.
sponsorship program with the Sources of Strength Fair, and it's really helped to have some seed money,
Oh, nice.
you know,
Okay.
because everything's free at our fair. We don't charge anything, so we need money for food and, you know, all the things.
We can take a picture of, you know, we could use part of a wall or something to put, you know,
Yeah.
put a picture with the names. You know, it doesn't have to, we don't have to say how much. I mean, I don't care if it's $5.
No,
You know what I
like
mean?
they do at
But
the
just-
store when-
Just, you know, just have a picture in their name, just to highlight
Yeah.
people that are giving to the pool.
I like that. I like that, Julie. You're right. We're used to, you know, buy like a dollar thing.
Yeah. Here,
Yeah, I like it. So if anyone's interested in that, I know we had a conversation where we had a donation or a promise of a donation, a thought of a donation for swim lessons. So we'd like to just close the loop on that and then look for other opportunities that are similar to that, as well as raising money for the repairs. But one of the things I was thinking is if we can do something that generates more revenue anyway. So if people are donating swim lessons for the pool, that turns into revenue. Now we can tag some of that revenue to go into the repair fund. So it's a little, gives people a more tangible thing that they're donating to, a more immediate reward, but the money can still move into the PEP fund that way.
Would it be better to have it run through the Friends of the Pool though, so they could get a tax donation?
If we are able to give tax deductions.
We have a
as
number.
long as PEP. Yeah, we have the right paperwork for PEP and for swim club. But yes, it'd be perfectly fine. And if you guys wanted to partner, that would be an excellent thing. I'm just looking, as you brought up a lot of good ideas, just looking for ways that we can give people more immediacy, because they've been hearing repairs for long as I've been here, 20 years. And even though we're a lot closer than we've ever been, it still probably feels a long way away.
You know, just a quick question on that and more like a thought.
Mhm.
If we were to use PEP in that manner, it almost feels like we kind of dilute the donation because what PEP is designed for,
So maybe,
either run through Friends of Lebanon Pool or create a new
It's just a
entity.
tax ID number that we give them.
yeah,
It's not in a category.
Yeah, it
Okay.
just feels like if they give us money, that money should go directly, instead of into a pool, it should go into wherever it was meant to go to.
I guess that's more our language to them. So we could say your immediate funds will be supporting a child. in
As long as
swim
we can
lessons.
make sure that those funds.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, and then we would tag it.
Kid who needs to swim and they don't just get rolled into PEP.
Right.
Yeah, and that's a very good idea. I'm really
Yeah.
glad that, Darla, you know. And Jill, one of the things we had talked about at the past meeting was how if you could pull together what it would cost for one child. I mean, you said there's a way you can get a discount on the joining, it's like $99.
Oh, swim club,
You
yeah.
know, swim club, you know, and then of course they've got to have their swim clothing. And then there's the, you know, all the things, I don't know what all those are.
We have that.
But put it together as a package, because I know that there are people that said, I would be happy to sponsor a child. You know, if I'm, whatever it is, just say $300, I was gonna give $300. I would want to give $300 for a child to be in swim club instead of just saying, I'm gonna randomly give $300 to fix the pool. You know, I mean, you know, I'm kind of that kind of person. I like to tie into a specific thing. And so if we could make that as, almost like you come at the trees, we could have that as one option. I mean, they could pay for swim lessons for a child. They could pay for swim club
Mhm.
as that. So we would have different options where people could contribute.
Yeah, it's exactly right. Yeah, just what I was thinking too. Great. Okay, so that's kind of what I've been thinking. And Julie, same thing. If you had an idea for membership, I'd be happy to help and support you. And Kim and I have been doing some work on processes. I've just been reading in the background. That's how come I redid the form, because I'm like, this isn't current. So, but I jumped ahead of myself. So I should have brought it, shared it, and then we should have rolled it out in November. So you're right. I'll do better. And Jeremy and I talked quite a bit, especially with the bank transfer. anyway.
Unless I can't avoid you.
That's right, unless he blocks me, he has no choice.
Are people still engaging, Ross?
No one's engaged yet.
I thought you were making sure they could hear and all that.
Yeah, they can.
Okay.
There's 30 people watching online.
So good point, though. I forgot to ask Ross if there were any pending questions or if you wanted to ask, if
Right.
anyone had.
No one's joined the Zoom yet
Oh. Okay.
on YouTube.
Oh, I see. What you mean too. Okay. Okay, so then I guess we assume there's no questions from the audience if they're not in Zoom.
I will make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
So.
Okay, thank you very much.
All in favor?
Yep. all in favor.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. So all in favor?
Aye.
Sorry.
Hit your gun.
Oh,
We'll,